question, please raise your hand. We'll start with James Ham.
Hey, Luke, how are you today?
Good, James. You?
Good, good. Hey, we had a pretty long conversation with De'Aaron after the game the other night, and he kind of took it upon himself that he hasn't played that well this season, not as well as he would like and other people would have liked. Just, do you think that there's a possibility that having a game like that and still losing can be eye-opening for a young player like that who's ready to take another leap?
Well, I thought that he played a very good game for us offensively and defensively. I don't think it ever it doesn't just happen, one game, but I do think, I think he's gotten bigger and stronger over the summer. I think he felt some of that last night or last game. I think that he understands a lot of how our team goes from a confidence level is on, his shoulders as far as, how he's out there playing. So, look, he's had some really nice moments this season, but we're a much better team when he's in constant attack mode. And, some of those stops he got, on Brandon, who's, extremely hard to guard, or big time high level winning plays, like more stuff like that is what our team needs. He took a charge against Zion. He was the only guy on our team. Zion had 31 points in the paint. And De'Aaron was the only one to take a charge on him. So he did a lot of things that lead to winning last night. And we need more out of that from our entire team.
You think there's a little bit of pressure? He's feeling the pressure after signing the big extension to be more and to take that step.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You got to ask him that. It's natural. I feel like, you sign those type of deals, there's probably pressure there, but it's, again, to me, those are one of those things. It's case by case. If I were to sign it, I'd feel a ton of pressure. If Kobe signed it, he wouldn't think twice about it. So it's more of an individual study than being able to just generalize it like that.
Marshall Harris.
Hey, Luke, I'm not sure if you're aware, but Adam Silver today talked about the possibility of players getting vaccinated as part of a public service announcement or a campaign to get vaccinations going, especially in communities of color. I didn't know if you or the players had talked at all about the possibility of vaccinations and what's your stance on doing that as part of a public service announcement, or if that's going to be left to individuals.
Yeah, I think you got to leave it to individuals. I didn't hear Adam's release today, but I think that's got to be, it's got to be something you believe in, right? Like me individually, I'm not huge on vaccinations, but on this one, I'd go get it. So I'd have no problem saying that. But that's, to me, you can't force people to speak on that. It's got to be something they believe in.
And following up a game with the Clippers, obviously you just saw this opponent. What's it like going back from that game to now trying to prepare for another game, and maybe what you've learned in between, maybe the way the team is playing now compared to then? If there's, how do you approach it as a coach?
Well, you look to make adjustments on what hurt us, and look, this Clipper team is probably playing the best basketball in the league right now. I mean, they're shooting over 40% as a team from three. I think NBA. I know it's early, but an NBA record for how they're shooting the ball, and they got two All-Stars that put a ton of pressure on your defense. So there's adjustments where we worked on today. But ultimately, it's going to come back down to us. How hard are we fighting? What's how locked in are we? From a communication and a game planning standpoint, and really going out there and just playing better basketball. Even going back and watching that Clipper game, a lot of shots they hit. They were tough contested shots. Where we really got in trouble was we had a lot of breakdowns. So you put on top of the fact that they have these, two great players and their whole team is shooting lights out. And then we have the amount of mistakes we made on top of that. And we just really never gave ourselves a chance.
Jason Jones.
Hey, Luke.
Jason.
Hey, De'Aaron's 2 top scoring games came in games that you guys lost. Not saying there's a correlation in that, but can it be discouraging for a young player when you have a game like that a couple of times in your career and you don't get the win in either situation?
It can be. I don't think with him it is. I think he he understands where we're at and where we're trying to get to. That's something that can be a factor. But I think he's he sees what we need from him and where we're at, and I think he's still gonna he's still in a good place mentally, as far as even though he had big games we lost, so he'll be fine.
And just looking at the Clippers, I mean, it wasn't that long ago that you saw the Clippers. In some ways, is it good that you're getting them again so quickly, given the way the last game went?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's good to play the Clippers, especially right now at the level they're playing at. I mean, I watched that Indiana game, and they got what they wanted on them too. Indiana's one of the best defensive teams in the league. At least they have been the last few years. So they're playing at a high level. But yeah, there are, Jason, some advantages to playing the same team, where you get to you feel what it's like. You get to you get a better sense of what they're what offense they're running, the coverages. We can show on film, like when we guarded it this way, we had success doing it. So to kind of be able to beat that home with the guys is good.
Tony Harvey.
Yeah, good afternoon, Coach Walton. Back to that 7-game homestand. The opposing teams, they shot 49% beyond the arc, 226 attempts, 112 made. I just want to, get your commentary on that, and what can you do to run these guys off the line? Or, I know it's a tool that every team that uses. This is just something, these teams know when they come to play Sacramento that they can take advantage of.
Well, yeah, we we broke down all those threes. With a lot of them are coming on some overhelping, which is is better than not helping at all. So we got to get better at being able to make the read of when we need the help and when we should start inching our way back out to shooters when our guys have them contained. A good amount of them came on just one-on-one, defense, not playing it's good enough one-on-one defense where they're direct line driving us, and now our whole defense is put into rotations. And then when we close the shooters, we're closing short right now. We have to be in today's NBA. You have to be able to close to touch, and then be able to slide with them with the offensive player for at least a dribble or two. And right now I think we're overly concerned with getting beat off the dribble, so we're closing short, and guys are making us pay for that. So we're aware of those numbers. We spent 90% of practice today on defensive rotations and coverages and whatnot, and we know we got a lot of games coming up. So we're on it. We got to keep drilling, keep getting better.
And I also want to ask you back to what Marshall was talking about at the beginning about the vaccination. And one of the concerns, in the Black community, the Tuskegee experiment, which went on for 40 years, and they did have a solution to that, with the syphilis, and they kept this program going on. And you did say you're not a big fan of vaccinations, but you were willing to do it for the league. Why is that when you don't have, I don't know if you have faith in it or not like that, but you're against it? Is it just something that, just to keep people safe and yourself safe and the family safe? Can you explain that?
Yeah, as far as why I would get this vaccination,
why you
what you're saying? We just where we're at in the world right now. I've and the people that I've talked to and the information I've seen, it just seems like the best way to try to get back to a safe, normal life again. So, when I say I'm not really into that many vaccinations, I'm more talking about the research I've done when I, with young kids that I have, and the amount of vaccinations that they give, children under the age of 5 now, to me is more of where I'm talking about. I'm not a fan of. So, I try to hold those as long as I could. But with this and where we're at in this world, and we have to be able to do something. And this is one that, as an adult, I would make the decision for myself to get. And I would encourage others to. Now, my mother is choosing not to get one. That's her choice. But I'm just speaking for myself that I would go out and get one if it was available.
You got time for a couple more, Jason Anderson?
Hi, Luke. How you doing today, sir?
Good, Jason.
Good. Looking at defensively, the struggles you guys have had. Are you considering any changes to the schemes that you guys have put in, or any of the changes that you've implemented from last year, or just stay the course for now?
Yeah, I mean, we're to me the biggest issues we're having right now is more of being able to guard our guys. We're not doing any crazy schemes. We're doing the same schemes that most teams are doing. And we got to keep getting better at it. And a lot of times you look for a quick fix and it's just not there. The right path is to stay the course and just keep drilling, keep showing film, keep learning. We know that's offensively we've been doing a lot of things we really like, but we're not giving ourselves a chance to win with the defensive stuff. And that's not all on the defense. We are giving up a bunch of points off of live turnovers, which makes those numbers worse. But yeah, there's no quick fix, Jason. It's just you got to keep working. It's got to mean more to us as a group. And I get that we sometimes, especially with Hassan out there, we don't have the size of some of these other teams, but we got to make up for that with quickness and speed then. And that's really just where we're at.
I get asked a lot about, obviously everybody looks at the rotation, and we've talked about Belly. You just mentioned Hassan. As much as you guys want to be switchable and versatile defensively, is that part of why we haven't seen as much of them recently? And, I know Hassan's hurt at the moment, but is that lack of versatility and switchability with some of those bigger guys why we don't see as much of them now?
Well, yeah, I mean, Hassan's is strictly an injury thing. And I mean, there was some things that, that we were trying to look at defensively from a switching standpoint that we were trying to get to. Belly, like I said, Belly and I have been talking. We're on the same page, and he'll be back in this rotation soon.
I got time for one more, Sean Cunningham.
Hey, Luke, I was curious with this funk you guys are in right now, and kind of the defensive problems have been such a focus. I was just curious if it's caught you that much by surprise. I mean, obviously you knew defense was going to be a thing to work on and a progressive evolution for your team, but has it caught you by surprise to be this bad that you've shown so far in this skid?
Yeah, I mean, we talked a ton about it last season too. You guys know my feelings on it. You have to be able to get stops to be a good, consistent team. We made some progress last season as the year went, adding Alex Lynn and Bazemore. I thought really, helped stabilize that defensive core for us. And we're playing some new groupings this year, and we knew that this would be something that was going to be an area that we have to get much better at, and that we'd have some struggles. So that part of it, I'm not surprised by. The amount of points we're giving up is I could promise you, I didn't think it would be that many. I knew playing trying to really push the idea of playing faster, that leads to a lot of defensive breakdowns. So I knew all those variables going into it. But here we are, and we're aware of it now. And whether it surprised me or not, it doesn't matter as much as how are we going to fix it and what are we going to do to get better at it. And that's where our focus is. That's why today's practice again was 90% defense, 10% offense. Because it's just we have to get better and have to start getting some stops.
The last game kind of comes to mind where, you talked about getting the fight back. And I wonder how discouraging it is to, even though the defense remains a problem, you see that fight, you lose that game. You have a guy with a career high, good performances from all around for the most part. But do you feel like the players have endured this skid pretty well, or how discouraged are they?
No, they're fine. It's a long season. These are the challenging times for sure. And this is as a group. They'll continue to stick together. We'll continue to fight, and we'll get through it together.